this Trump selection, whatever you call it, they'll turn the tables on him, and instead of him losing to he won. Maybe the next guy he'll beat him in the popular vote, but the college is going to say, no, Mr. Trump, you move the embassy, go away. And I think it's all a big performance because I don't think the guy really wants the job again. I think he did what they wanted him to do, and now they'll let him live a couple more years in his luxury and leave his legacy, whatever that's going to be. Because we think we know what's happened. We read about shit that's happened. We see links on the internet webs to show you what happened. 10 years go by and you find out, wow, everybody was full of shit. How the hell did they keep doing that? Over and over and over. And here we sit, debating to this fucking day, to this moment. I'm still willing to debate the reality of this fucked up social experiment they call society that I think was doomed from the gate. They did testing with lab rats to see what would happen if you undernourished, overpopulated, blah, blah, fucking blah, did all these things to rats. And they found out, so now they did them to humans. And I think that the results that we live in today were planned way back in the past, way before I was ever thought of. And I'm 61. So, I've seen a few days. But the stuff that's coming, this is not the life that I want to. What's the right word? Oh, here we go. I was raised with that red, white, and blue bullshit, and America, and flags, and the best country in the world crap, all that nonsense. And I guess there was a point in my life, to some degree, where I'd protect the name, because I'd be from America. And I've grown out of that. Now it's like, wow, fuck, stop reminding me. Circle, shut up. I know where I'm from already. Because the time I've been away, I've gotten to look back and see the place I'm from a distant place. And it's not the same as when I was living in it. It looks a lot different. Of course, Rob Works told me the other morning, he said that from the time I left, I wouldn't recognize the place if I saw it tomorrow or today, whatever day. But 9 years isn't a very long time in history. Yet, look at the condition that the whole fucking planet's in this shit right now because the public is too ignorant to know that the government would lie to them. They think they're being told the truth. And they're going to defend it. And they got flags and patriots and Proud Boys. What else? They got Antifas. All these groups, these KKK, you name it. There's a group BLM. Split us up, divide us, make sure everybody hates the next nigger. And the next thing you know, we're all wearing masks and we can't go anywhere because there's nowhere to go. It's all over. Finished. They shut us down with a story. All they had to do is make a few movies in Hollywood, and, so they made money lying to the public through media, through the media, TV, movies and such. And then they've managed to raise people to believe that the things they see in film, they're not just entertainment. Oh, no. This is what's going to happen to you. You're going to get a virus and drop dead. And they really now, I've been alive for a long time, so I would assume that I would have known somebody in my life somewhere that dropped dead from the virus. If there was any reality to this at all. Because they started heavy in England. When I was in England in the 90s, they had the mad cow thing going on. See, I went, I don't give no flying the fox about a no mad cow. Fuck you. Of course, I was 30 then. I didn't give a shit. But since then, it's been proven with the help of the internet webs, a few people that came forward from the medical profession, that most of the crap that we know today is actually just bullshit so that Rockefeller can make money. And if you're fortunate enough to see these things, that's one thing. But you got to remember 95% of the people that that actually look at these things are going to reject them just because their wiring will not allow them to accept the possibility that what they believe is false. And these are huge, huge things. And I know I come on the radio all the time and make fun of people and joke about it because there's no changing it. There's no way out of this. There's never has been. There's no help. You can post all the freaking help you want on the internet webs. And if other people are even close to what I'm like, most of them are gaming or watching movies, and they either already know and have accepted the reality, or they're fighting, and there's nothing to fight. It's all, I mean, it's a reality in a sense of physical, but in your mind and just yourself, there's no reality to any of this shit. There's just a lot of compliance to fear from the public. And the politicians in power just keep pounding the same lies instead of anybody coming forward in any position with a following and just being honest. No. We just get more, death numbers, death tolls, and stories about, what do you call them? So old people's homes where they sent characters with COVID and they got all the old people sick. What the fuck? 80-year-old people die. What the hell do you fucking people want out there? I mean, so this was the catalyst out of Italy of all places. On top of that, and then you got the story about the wet fish market and the bat soup. Come on. I mean, I listened to a guy on UCY named Clint Richardson speak. He did radio for quite a while. He comes back on and off, but I'd have been, I don't know, just gaming and movieing as much as possible. So I don't really have much interest in pursuing the internet anymore. But Clint, he did a series on inoculation, where they started, and he had a partner. I forget the guy's name. Bad with names. But if you look up Clint Richardson, you'll find who I'm speaking of. And the guy knows his shit. Yet, and I believe this still, 95% of the people that have heard him could give two fucks about his opinions or what he has to say because it affects their belief system. And when you start messing with people's belief systems, telling them that the shit that they spent, 12 years learning in school was all crap, most of them get kind of pissed off at you. What would you expect? Everything I fucking ever learned in school was crap. Larry Woods told me that. And Larry's got a PhD, right? All that education, and he's the nicest freaking guy. And one of the first things he told me is, all those letters don't mean anything because you're only getting part of the information that you need. It's fruitless. We're stuck in this social loop, and what the laws don't restrict is restricted with fear. Fear of this, fear of that, fear. Because everybody's going to die from the COVID, and there's nobody going to be left, and all this, that, and the other. And I just found it quite a coincidence that all this shit happened it started out as a drill. I was aware it was a drill. I didn't take it seriously. At first, me and Mary were a little confused about the whole thing because I was talking with her, and and none of this stuff makes any sense. Crying out loud. Airborne, fucking deathly, lethal virus that nobody gets sick, dies from, unless they're 80. This is ridiculous. Of course, I can say that because I'm not 80. But if I was 80, I could give two fucks. I think 80 is plenty of life, you know. So let's sacrifice the young people that are coming up in the world today to save the old people that have already existed and lived a good, full life. See, because this makes a lot of sense to everybody. Hmm. I'm not sure how. I don't understand that logic. I don't. I don't think I'm so selfish that if that was me, and I'm in the 60-year-old thing, so it is me to a degree. Cough, cough. And I don't give two shits about no damn pandemic or virus or none of that shit. You're gonna live, you're gonna die. And trying to run around the world telling everybody you know what's gonna kill you and how it's gonna kill you, and that's psychotic. You are wow. Think about it for a minute. I don't know. I maybe nobody's even listening. I'm just talking to myself. But hmm. None of this life that we're looking at makes any real sense. I mean, lockdowns. Why? Why do you shut down an economy? Because you ran out of money. Well, what do you do? How does a government come out and tell you, we've printed ourselves up to our eyeballs. The Rothschilds want their freaking money now, and there's nothing to give them. Nothing. We've been in debt since we were born. How many times have we said it? That they trade us as chattel on the stock exchange. It's on your birth certificate. If you can find, now what you do, this is the problem. You need to get an original copy of your original birth certificate. Not one of these, I don't know, one of the things I had to get a passport. But beyond it, there's documents that that prove every conspiracy theory that you've ever heard about us turns out to be true. All the money's all based on debt. we're all living on the promise of paying someday. But we don't seem to realize that because, they've manipulated the explanation of what money is to include things that aren't really money. They're trading things, but they don't. You can't represent money, but we've been convinced you can. You get credit. Credit. Oh God, my people are the cruelest bastards in the world. That's why. As an American, they want you to fucking hate the Arabs and love the Jew because of usury. The Arabs don't use usury. They have another way of earning money through their banking system rather than bankrupting the people they supply money to and taking all their shit at the end of the day. The Arabs are a little bit kinder to each other. And oh man, can you imagine if the Americans found that out? Woo! Well, of course, 5% ain't going to do much. Of course, they do say 5% could shift the whole population. So, as long as they keep the 5% split up into smaller groups that will not join together and unite, then there's no way that this game that we do play called society will ever end. It will just progressively become more restrictive and controlling. And eventually, I don't know, people are what? They're going insane. The ones that aren't going insane are hurting other people or themselves. It's kind of sad, I guess, is the right word for it. I mean, I have neighbors here around me. And when I pass them on the street, we say hi to each other and we're civilized. And whether you're wearing a mask or not has still yet to become an issue, on a personal level. But yet, now the government here, the the prime minister or whatever, the queen and all these people, they went on television and they do these freaking speeches that the people, like Americans look up to theirs. There's a percentage of people here that look up to that. And according to my wife, she says that they spent quite a bit of time thanking people for participating in keeping the virus down, instead of being honest and telling them they're being screwed so that they can stall the fucking reset on the finance. We're just getting lied to and scared. Oh, you're gonna drop dead if you hug your grandma. She's gonna drop dead. Somebody's gonna drop dead. Maybe it'll be you. Keep them in fucking terror. So, I don't know. See, I tried to tell you, Mental. I really didn't have anything good. I like to at least have a giggle or something. But this stuff is. Now we're being played like mutts, and the population is so lame. The news media gets a hold of whatever happens, and then they feed it, they hand feed it to their public, their population that listens to them, which is a lot of idiot people, and and here we sit. They stormed the damn, what was it, the State Department, or I don't know what building it was. Some fucking Washington, D.C. crap in the fucking long run. But, well, part of me cares because I'm from America. And part of me doesn't care because I'm away from America. So, thank you there, Rob. The Capitol building in Washington, D.C. was, but I didn't see any. I saw links, and there was nobody storming anything. There was no violent behavior. No. People were sitting around, meandering on this balcony, and it was the state building. It wasn't another building. Wow. But the verbal report, and then the first thing I heard was, some girl, 16-year-old girl gets shot. Then that morphs into a woman got shot. And there's a video to go along. How coincidental that this military vet is in the state capitol, storming the state capitol building, and there just happens to be a guy there with a gun on the other side of the door glass, just happens to be there to shoot her. She seemed to be very threatening, like most everybody in the group that was there, but for some reason, she was the one that got shot. And then I seen the link about who she was. Turns out she was a very outspoken, anti-political military vet. 14 years in the military. And then somebody just pops her through a glass window. She's so innocent in a full-on attack that she gets shot in the fucking face, the throat or whatever. Something just I don't get. I don't understand it. Doesn't make sense to me. Of course, I'm not a military strategist. I know that, but that's what I mean, Rob, is all, and my wife was the first thing, they shot a young girl there, blah, blah, blah. And I was telling her, okay, let's wait and see. I've seen these dramas so many times, and they always tell you the bullshit, and then it turns into something else. Always. Me and Rob were disagreeing about it just Thursday. And I think that Trump is participating in this bullshit that we're watching, playing the victim role to keep the fight going, to encourage people. Because I saw his speech, and he never said storm any building, or he wasn't rude, he wasn't inciting. He was so outside, he was so unlike everything I ever heard from him. I was actually listening to him. And he puts down the pompous ass suit for a few minutes to speak to people and encourage them to go down there and visit and congratulate and be nice. Of course, wait a minute. That's not what the news people said. Could be a video. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't Trump. It sure looked like Trump. Sure sounded like Trump. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was one of those magic videos that make up. And I'm just too stupid to be able to tell when I'm being fleeced or not. I don't know. The whole thing just reeks. It has for a long time. And like it started out in the beginning of the show, I was making a joke on my prediction, just based on common knowledge, common sense. Trump was a Hill Dog supporter when he was in New York for like 20 fucking years. He loved the Clintons. Bill and Hillary, they was his friends, baby. Goddamn, he had them out for drinks and food, and probably Bill for a couple of strippers and some coke. But hey, when he was running for the White House, all of a sudden he becomes Hillary's arch enemy. Just like that. Click. That's the kind of guy I want in charge of the place I live. A man that will fucking lie to your face and tell you, I'm not lying. I'm the most honest guy you could find. Man, I'd have more respect for a politician that just get up there and say, I'm a lying piece of shit. You got any money? I'm going to get it anyway, because we're going to write the law to fuck you up. You'll see. Just sit back and vote for me. And how many years? 200 and something years they've managed to convince people. This is the beautiful part of this whole America story, is they're trying to convince you that 250 odd years ago, right? These rich kids got together, right? And because they cared so much about the common man, they formed their own government, right? And here we are today, locked up like a bunch of sardines, can't go to a fucking bar and have a drink. Half in the fucking world, cannabis is illegal. Now, when these pricks started out, hemp was mandatory. You had to grow a certain amount of hemp by law. I've seen these laws. Maybe they were written as a joke, but I've seen it on, so I believed it. I'm like, holy shit. Of course, in the day, when they made shit out of hemp, they destroyed most of what they did by now. But here we sit with our disposable viruses. This is what pissed me off really bad, is I'm walking down the street going to go get my nicotine because I'm a nasty nicotine smoker, by God. And there's all these healthy people wearing masks to protect themselves from the evil that men do. And I look down on the ground and I see a fucking mask. And I thought, wait a minute. This is a life-saving piece of equipment. This, by law or mandate or order or suggestion. And yet, it's so unimportant that it's on the fucking ground. Okay? For me to step on because it's on the fucking ground. Wow. So it's hard to take all this crap seriously when the people that are participating in it won't even take it. Where are the biohazard fucking bins to properly dispose of all these fucking masks and gloves? Oh, they stopped all the glove shit. But then it's wintertime, so, rubber gloves under your regular gloves would probably give you some kind of hand rash. God, I don't know. Hey, people are chatting. Let's see. See, Rob, that's what I think. That's what I've said. Oh my God. I have been ignored, ridiculed, called every fucking name under the sun because I refuse to believe any of this shit is real. Not that it doesn't happen, yet it's not real the way that it's told to you. Oh, this happened, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sure, it happened all right, but that's not what happened. And if you think about it, look at your own life, right? Something that you physically did and somebody else tells the story, and then somebody else after it. And by the 10th person telling that story, you shot 5 people and you had sex with a dead pig, and all you did was sat down and had a beer and a sandwich. But exaggeration goes with storytelling. People add, and add. So I guess I'm probably considered one of those kind of people because I don't want to believe what I'm told. If most people can't prove to anybody else what they believe. It's something you believe. I believe stuff. There you go. You believe stuff. There you go. And then when we try to, match them together, and it doesn't work because we've all got different freaking belief systems, different ways of interpreting the information that comes to us, this, that, and the other. Then you try to tell somebody else what you think about something. They're hearing you through their head. I hear you through my head. I'm not hearing you the way you speak. I'm hearing you the way I listen. It's a mess. Well, I mean, life is still worth living. I'm not beaten, but I am disappointed. And I'm not beaten because I already didn't want society long before all this corona crap ever started. I stopped going to Freetown and going on trains and going here. I didn't want no more. I was so just enough. It was nice to slow down, but I didn't expect all this. I mean, it doesn't hurt my lifestyle. The inconvenience of the bar being shut down, that's just me being a Jew, I guess, for a few minutes here and there. But outside of that, I don't really give a flying fuck. Shit. Now we have the food delivered to the house from the grocery, so I don't go get it no more. So it cuts my walking, but it's winter time, so in the long run, it's all a matter of my perspective. If I want to be defeated by the situation I'm facing, then that's my choice. Or I can jump hurdles and dodge bullets and jump fences and all that and get through it, like I always have, like everybody does. Except for the 9 to 5 people out there with family life that don't have time to follow and find out what the hell is going on in life. They just watch the news for half an hour and that's good enough for them. And I guess it sounds like I'm blaming them for, you can't blame people for the way they're wired, but you can feel like, fuck, there's no way to help them. You may not have given up. My wife may not have given up. I don't have a prayer left for myself or anybody else as far as getting away from this mass hysteria brought on by government and bullshit, Rockefeller medicine and Fauci and all these lying thieves that don't think that they have enough money. They want to be trillionaires now, baby. I was teasing with Rob this morning about it. His morning, anyway. About, they'll just print some more money. Doesn't matter. People don't understand where money comes from. They just know they're getting some. They don't really understand that it's a loan. Your grandchildren are going to be paying this fucker off, baby. You'll see. But the sad part about it is, I don't think they're waiting that long. I think they want it now. And being as there isn't anything to give them, we've been sacrificed, collectively sacrificed, like a herd of fucking animals going to a slaughter. And they're going to pick off the sick and the poor and the weak. And anybody left standing, it's a free-for-all. And that's probably what we're headed for. I'd taken a wild guess here, just, looking at the results of, the information at hand on the internet webs. And things don't look good. People are They're very disappointing as a collective. They think out of fear. They have no spine. There's no backbone. We're a dying breed. Anybody that's willing, and I don't mean all this fuck off and standing up cussing at people nonsense. I mean,